Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Life Well Lived by Amabala Stephen. It's an engaging and enlightening talk show on life, relationships, and the business of life. Grab a cup of juice and just chill. Life Well Lived by Amabala Stephen. Live life. Live fully.
You are now tuned in to this week's episode of our podcast. Today we are going to interview some of the greatest and most influential minds in our field. By sharing our collective expertise, we will show you how to harness, control, and use your own skill set to achieve ultimate success and live the life you want. And now, please welcome your host.
Once again, this is Amabala Stephen, your host on Life Well Lived by Amabala Stephen. Now, if you're looking forward to a podcast which is literally going to transform your mindset, 360-degree transformational, and shift you towards the life you're truly meant to live, Life Well Lived by Amabala Stephen is the show you like to listen on. It focuses on self-improvement and personal development with the occasion of experts and professionals who have the right information that are disruptive in nature to share with my audience. It gives me great pleasure to have Rader on the show. Now, Victoria is a possibility coach. She's a transformational speaker, international best-selling author, and founder of Why You to Shine. I beg your pardon. Welcome with me on the show once again, Rader.
Amabala, thank you so much for having me. And you know what? You were saying it intuitively correct. It's you to shine, even though it's spelled why you to shine. So,
all right.
Absolutely.
Okay, it's you to shine, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, you to shine. Oh, apologies for that. All right. Thank you once again for gracing the show, Victoria. I'm already loving the energy and the connection, and I know we're going to really have a great time on the show. We will be talking more about subconscious programming, talking about personal development generally. So, Victoria, the question I like to ask you is that the cap to one's fulfillment is defined by their subconscious programming. And I would like you to ask you this question. What led you to this conclusion?
You know, in a nutshell, having become very, very successful in real estate as a need to cover the little boo-boo of debt I put my family into. You know, I was a homeschooling mom, and I decided the best way for my kids to learn about Greece was to take them there for 3 weeks. Came home, my sweet husband sat me down and he said, honey, nothing is attached to the little plastic card you've been swiping. And so I said, okay, how do I get my family out of debt? Got into real estate before the market crashed, had to learn basic steps of application, and succeeded greatly. Now, succeeded greatly while crying every night, questioning whether I was a good mom while working, all the stuff that comes with dirty side of success, right? That we don't talk about, the uncomfortable side of success. But what I quickly realized is that there were people near to me that were working by my side that were equally driven. They were equally brilliant, they were equally dedicated, they were equally disciplined, and yet their results were not equal to mine. And so I started wondering what was the key factor, and what I found it to be was something that doesn't meet the eye. And that was the programming of our much greater vehicle that drives us, of our subconscious mind. 93% of all of our results are dictated by our subconscious mind. Those subtle programs that run us without us being aware that they are even there. And so that's how I arrived at that understanding and started learning how to work with the energy and how to work with the mind and how to shift it to be on our side and not be a silent saboteur of our greatest wishes. So I got a PhD in metaphysics, got qualified in a ton of energy modalities, and shifted from just practical real estate success principles training and business training to combining spiritual growth with practical application, because both are equally important.
Oh, absolutely. Now, I'd like us to dive into manifesting. Now, how do people manifest what they want? And I'd like you also to share with me the sequence of manifesting.
Absolutely. The very first thing to realize is that all of us already have exactly what we want. And it's shocking. It's like, no, I don't want this. Nope, the 7% of your conscious mind doesn't want this. The 93% of your depth clearly has created and co-created some of the realities you experience. Why? So here is the key to manifesting. The key goes back to Shakespeare. He said, to be or not to be, that is the question. What do I mean by that? The energy of us creating life will be responding to either our greatest desire and drive or to our greatest suppressed fear, whatever is stronger. We have in our life whatever is stronger. So if I'm walking around thinking, I don't want to be alone, I'm so tired of being alone, why are those people that have soulmate partners, or why are those? That is the energy that I am living as. Now, I think I'm manifesting a soulmate. I tell people I'm manifesting a soulmate. I want a soulmate. That's the 7% desire of my mind. But the 93% of a feeling energy dwells on not wanting to be alone. So it is either not wanting to be sick or being so grateful for your health, not wanting to be broke, or praising the universe, God, for your abundance. It cannot be both. Good news, it doesn't have to be 100%. It just has to be the majority. I taught statistics. You know what majority is? 51%. So it's okay to be upset. It's okay to feel those doubts, as long as they're like 49% of your reality. So the first step to manifesting, notice what you notice, because what you notice is what you create. Notice how you perceive what it is that you want. And also, number 2, know very clearly that it is what you want, not that it is something you think you should want or that somebody else wants for you. What is it that you want? Ask 4 questions and write answers. Do not skip the questions if you want to manifest. What is it that I want? What do I want the most? What are the outcomes I want? And what is the outcome that I want the most? And once that answer comes through you, you need to imagine what would it feel like if that outcome was in your life already. And before you go to bed, feel with gratitude this outcome as if it's in your life already. For 4 hours of sleep, your mind works on it. And yet when you wake up, the most important step that is not taught, act as a person who already has that outcome. Act.
Oh, absolutely. Now that action is where the problem is. Don't you think so?
Yes, and yes. In the Prosper Me book, I talk about the law of growth, and I say the results are your mindset multiplied by your skill set multiplied by your effort. Now, a lot of us in the personal growth are addicted to either mindset or skill set. We either read every book, go to every conference, or, skill set. We get degree after degree. And when I say we, I mean I've gone through all these stages. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm just saying, hey, I've been there. I've been a mindset addict. I've been a skill set addict. But
Good for
without,
you.
right? But without effort, if our effort is a 0, no matter the mindset, the result is a 0. So find your weakest part of the equation and increase that, and then you will increase the results.
Oh, great. Now, you mentioned mindset, and now that's a very important topic for me. And now, when it comes to mindset shift, is there a way that a person can shift their mindset from being broke to being prosperous? Now, can we talk about the formula and some other sources ingredients?
Absolutely. For all of us, as I've mentioned, it's what it is that you think about you that defines who you are, right? And so if you walk around thinking, I'm broke, I'm broke, I'm broke, you feel it, becomes your reality. Why? Because thoughts are electric and feelings are magnetic. So your thoughts charge your feelings, you become an electromagnetic charged being. We know it. Our heart, they measure the electrical impulse to know whether it's healthy, and they see the magnetic response to it. Now, what is very important to realize is that to shift your mindset, you need to know what mindset is. You see, I've thought about mindset for years before I sat down and I said, what is it? I mean, set of what? Mindset. It's not set in stone. It is movable. We want it to be neuroplastic, moving. So what is a set of? And I've come to define mindset as a set of 6 mental faculties. I help my clients find which faculty of the 6 they struggle with, so that by shifting that one faculty, their mindset shifts. Those faculties are imagination, intuition, perception, memory, reason, and will. Isn't that so incredible to know what mindset is? I'll just, for the sake of time, go into 1 minute on one of them. What is imagination? You know, Einstein said imagination is the most important thing, right? Well, I've got a secret for us all. Your imagination is limited by your self-image. You cannot imagine something that your self-image does not support. And your self-image is a reflection of your awareness of your infinite self-worth. To increase your imagination, you've got to heal your self-worth and straighten your self-image. So it no longer is a selfie on the Instagram, but a healthy image, right? And it's just one of them. So to shift your mindset, find which one of those 6 you need to shift, and then pour into it, increase it, change it, and your life changes as a result of that.
All right. Thank you. Absolutely. Once again, Victoria Rader, for your incredible insight. Going forward, some of the principles of prosperity are the 4 steps to abundance. I'd like to share more insight on this.
Yes, I make them easy. You know, I like to remember things by acronyms or letters, so I call them as 4 A's, right? The first one is awareness. The second is alignment. Then our favorite, action, which leads to number 4, abundance. So awareness, we talked about it a little bit. Become aware of what you notice and how you notice it. So become very aware, because how you notice and what you notice is what is processed by your reticular activating system and matches with the opportunity to have more of it. So first, become aware, and I say become lovingly aware. Forgive yourself for being human. It's no secret. You know, no matter how much we try, we'll never be perfect as human beings. Perfect as spiritual beings having human experience, yes. Human beings, not so much. I can't even control when I need to go to the bathroom. I mean, try to shift that. when you can control your ability to go to the bathroom, you know you've controlled your subconscious mind completely. So that's just a silly joke, but it's very true. So become aware. And as you become aware, shift to align with what you'd rather want. So if you hear yourself talking, what's wrong with me? How could they do that to me? Why would they say such a thing? Those are the answers you're creating. So shift it, align to a little bit higher of a frequency. If life is hard, align with the question, how can I make it better? Not what is wrong with life, how can I make it better? What is the one thing, tiny thing, I can do today and every day to make the situation better? And by the way, if life is great for you, all of us tend to sabotage it and go like, I wonder when it'll come to an end. We know all good things come to an end. Let's just stop it and ask a different question for alignment. How much better can it get? Let's get our brain busy. How much better can it get? So we're aware, we're aligned, and here's the winner. Then we take daily action. A lot of us don't take action because we're afraid we'll make a mistake. Yes, we will. Or that we will fail. Yes, we will. Failure and mistakes are not distractions from a path of fulfillment. They are the path. They are the path. So we've got to act immediately, awkwardly, and daily. And as we do that, that step of abundance is a reward for aware, aligned action.
Oh, great. Now, talking about asking questions, I'm a really big fan of, asking a lot of questions about anything from the universe. And I think that the answers always come, right? What will you say to that when we want to say, you have some questions and the answers come in? What is your insight? What is your take on this when we desire to manifest something in our life? How do we go about it? Asking questions is in one big step that we can take to actualize this.
The depth of your question is huge. Is there just one huge shortcut that I can jump from my bed and into the top 1% of billionaires? The answer is yes, but not long term. Because the truth of what our souls have come is not to get stuff. Manifesting is not about getting stuff. Manifesting is about growing who we are as infinite beings. And things around us are simply indicators of that. The joy of manifesting is that we first become the person that would have those material possessions we think come with that manifesting. And then they come and they become irrelevant. If they don't, they possess us instead of us possessing them. And so when you ask the question of how do I hear quantum leap, which is the one big shift. How do I have quantum leap? I want to take you to the law of Kaizen way. It's also one of the laws in the Prosper Me book, but it's a law of Kaizen way. And it is the teeny tiny small incremental steps over time lead to huge leaps. Why? It is based on quantum physics concept of quantum jump, where a little tiny electron flies around the nucleus non-stop in a circle, and then a photon of light enters the system, and that light brings the electron to the next level. Translation to our daily life: doing small, steady, consistent steps every day, and then hearing a podcast like I'm a bolus that gives you a flow of light into your system, creates an opportunity for a practical insight that brings you to the next level. Not so that you can arrive at the next level, but so that you can continue to grow to the next and the next and the next, and enjoy the process, not the result.
Right. Now, Victoria, quickly, I'd like you to tell me more about your newest book, Prosper Me, the 35 Universal Laws to Make Money Work for You.
Yes, that's the book that has been channeled over many years, first as the programs, and then I was guided to write it as a book just before the recession hit. The book got published before the inflation started kind of spreading, but I, of course, knowing the law of synchronicity, saw the great universal synchronicity and smile in that all. And so what the book is 35 universal laws, which is, what does it make it a universal law? It's a principle that can be applied to every area of your life universally. But then I take those laws, and in each one of them, I share the application in my life with a story, and I give you 3 practical steps that you can apply to magnify the principles of that law by taking action in your life today. And then I offer what I call an energy activation, which is a subliminal affirmation that changes the pattern of your subconscious mind, that it can start working with the law and not against it. That is, in a nutshell, the journey through the book. The best way to dive into that journey is by taking a free quiz that tells you which laws you might be stuck on. And you can find the quiz at moneyquiz.me if that is something that interests you.
Absolutely. Thank you once again, Victoria Rader, for your time on the show. Victoria, I know that you have some projects in the pipeline you'd like to share with my audience now. They'll be glad to learn more about that.
We have a lot of joy of sharing and igniting the light in those around us. So our passion baby is Empower-Me app. It is the app that we continually add to, whether it is 3-minute meditations or deep visualizations to process grief, or tips on money. You need to be empowered. That is the phenomenal way to support your empowerment. But our booming babies that are coming in will be 2 decks of guided cards. One will be Christian scripture with New Age and Eastern alignment of chakras, bringing it all into one light, because I believe oneness is where God is. And
That's
so
right.
bringing all these beautiful practices into one. And then the other deck we're creating, so that one will be Accept Me. And the other one is going to be Create Me, which will be the deck of question. As you can see, I'm very passionate about what questions we ask. And so that deck will have guided questions for you to ask and ponder on in order to manifest the day in the best way. Those are just some projects coming through our coaches.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that's good to know. Wish you best of luck in the project, Victoria.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Victoria, you have a parting word you'd like to share with the audience?
Yes, I want to share a quick story, and this story is something that I keep near and dear to my heart, and whenever I'm invited to share it, I bring it into the light because that is what's keeping me going every day. You know, in those days when I don't want to get out of bed, which I also have.
That's
And
right.
so the story begins in 1400s, and there is a sculptor in Italy, his name is Donatello. And the Donatello is given a huge slab of marble. He looks at that slab of marble to carve a sculpture and he says it's not good enough, it has veins. He rejects the marble. 50 years later, another great sculptor, Michelangelo, out of that very marble, carves the magnificent sculpture of David that 500 plus years still stands on the streets of Florence. And so when the contemporaries ask Michelangelo how could he possibly carve this beautiful sculpture of David out of this faulty marble, he says, I saw the angel in the marble and I carved until I set him free. And so you see, I believe it is our calling in life to free the angel inside that we've come to be by carving off our daily marble. So wherever you are, however heavy your slab of marble is, one teeny tiny chip away a day so that you can live your life as a free being that you've come to be.
Absolutely. Thank you for that inspiring note, motivation and note also, Victoria. You'd like to share your social media handles and your website once again?
The site is moneyquiz.me or you2shine.com, you2shine.com. And you can find me on Instagram at Vika, VICA _Rader, RADER.
Thank you once again, Victoria Rader, for your time. Once again, I really had a splendid time going forward. Wish you the best of luck in all your projects.
Thank you so much, Amabola. You too.
All right. If you'd like to catch up with any missed episodes of the show, you can do so on any cross-promotion platforms or any podcast distribution platforms you bump into, and do have a worthwhile time listening to the show. Perhaps you'd like to be a guest on the show, sharing disruptive mindset conversations on any topics or subjects under personal development and self-improvement. I would like to be your host. You can mail me at mobileactivity.outlook.com. Perhaps you'd like to get to know more about me and what I've been up to lately. You can check me on my website, www.mobileactivity.online. Now we can have a great show together and be the change that the world is waiting for. Till I come your way, I need to be God. Talk to you soon.